Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Turtlecast. I hope your weekend is starting well. It is indeed Friday. Welcome, who is so early in the chat? Welcome, Spiteful Angel, Robco Games, Adefion Jack, Rick Jaramillo, Rascal, Jerome, Aluful, Suika, Angry Scotsman, and RHPS. Welcome. And JL joining us right now. So as usually on the Turtlecast, we'll discuss latest events, what's going on in Fallout, as well as check if there are any official news from Bethesda.com, Fallout.com. And the last article is about Atomic Shop, so there is no other articles about that. There is one update like in regards to public test servers, so I think we are close to the official release of the phishing update. I'm not saying it's gonna happen now, but I'm pretty sure now it's early June. So we have a little bit over 2 weeks. That would be my estimate at this moment. A little bit over 2 weeks and update is happening. And why do I think so? Let me find the latest announcement from the PTS announcement. And I will show you. There we go. Happy Friday. Wanted to give you a heads up that there will be no update hitting the servers today because the public test server will be brought offline on Monday, May 19th. The team needs some time with the servers offline to do some additional work before the phishing update launches. I want to give a huge thank you to all for the time you spent on the server and hope you look forward to the update when it releases. So that's what it says here. Therefore, from this point, when the server goes offline, usually it was about 2 to 3 weeks for the update to go live. So I'm just assuming it will be the same this time. It's not written in stone. It's not a confirmed date. But if we take the 19th and then following day is 20, so Tuesday is usually the update day. So if we take Tuesday and wait 2 weeks from 20 of May, we end up on 3rd of June. So 3rd of June is probable date for the update, if not the 10th. But I'm willing to say it will be the first one, so 3rd of June. That will be my estimate at this moment, just because of this announcement and the past experience. Like, past experience is usually a good indicator. It's not guaranteed. Like, they may encounter some problems when they take them offline and start working on those servers. Maybe there will be delay. But if not, so from this time, most likely a week from now, there will be official date announced. So a week before we'll get announcement, and then 2 weeks for the update to drop. We'll definitely get announcement before season will end. So we'll know that update is dropping. But the last weekend, that's the last weekend to do any public test server testing. So I think tomorrow on Saturday live stream, we'll do it on public test servers. That's our last occasion. It's last chance. Like, this weekend is like last chance. Then on Monday it goes offline. So I think I was quite accurate that what we have now on public test server is about finished version. I said that earlier this week. Most people didn't believe me. There's a lot of comments saying that huge changes are still to come because that's a public test server. Doesn't look like it. They're taking it offline to finish and pack it up all together, fix the bugs, do the servers good, and release. So that's what we are at. Therefore, the update is coming. It is coming soon. And welcome everyone else who's joining us right now on YouTube and on Twitch, whichever you prefer. On Twitch, there is PottyChap in the chat. Always in the chat on Twitch, PottyChap. So welcome everyone. And yeah, we still have... Oh, if you missed that, yesterday I uploaded a video. There is new costume that you can get. I mean, okay, it's not new. I checked. I was thinking it's new, but it was already available. This Beelzebul, I forgot the name, Beelze something. It was available during QuakeCon in 2020. I must have missed that. Like, that's long time ago. So 2020, now we have what? Now it's what is 25, so 5 years. This is 5 years. So forgive me if I forgot about it or I didn't claim it back then. I did claim it now. So I didn't realize it was already there. And in the video, I said it's new. It looked like it's not new, but for me, it's new as I didn't have it before. So for me, that was new. Not for everyone, I understand. Like for whoever remembered that on QuakeCon it dropped and claim it, so you already have it. I figured that out after Googling later when I noticed first comments. What if you could craft bubbleheads? I don't think that will be ever the thing, but it's easy to get them now from Raid in form of mystery bubblehead boxes. You can buy them with stamps as well. Mystery magazine boxes from the Raid. And we do need a new Raid, I agree with you. Before we start talking a little bit more about it, let me just check the Discord and answer all your questions. Angry Turtle Army Discord, official Discord. Let's see your questions in there. So here we go. The first one. This one that was last time, so that's the first new question. Ace. Been playing as a ghoul for a few weeks. Some advantages, but some disadvantages as well. So, turtle, ghoul, or human, what do you choose? I'm currently playing human again. I was ghoul before. Overall, with the unique ghoul perks, I'm leaning slightly towards ghoul versus human at this moment. Slightly. So there are, as you said, advantages, disadvantages. So there is no clear winner. And I like it. There is no clear winner. After playing ghoul and human for a month each, I will say there is no clear winner. Both have strength, both have weaknesses, depend what you want to do, and I like it. They quite well balanced. I'm surprised how well balanced that end up being between ghoul and human characters. I was expecting it will be way off, but it is not. It's quite well balanced. Just saw my video on the tea. This isn't a question, but something for you to look into and share with more people. I have found a workshop where you can place the 2 sets of flowers so close to each other that you can harvest all 6 without moving. It's a spot on the south edge of Tyler County Dirt Track. I can't attach a picture in this channel, but I have shared it in the followed chat when I discovered it. If you can't find it, I'm happy to provide more info sometime. Okay, so I think we know where Taylor County Dirt Track is. That's in the forest. In the forest, top left-hand side of the map. I know exactly where it is, next to Fanfare. So I could go and look there, but for now, I do have flowers. On the live stream, I hired 2 people to help me out, open the flower business, and we farmed and farmed. And I end up with 3,000 flowers in about 30 minutes. 3,000 of each. So that was good. So I'm good with flowers for now. If I will ever need to start farming them again, I will remember about this workshop. And whoever didn't farm it, yeah, go there. If that's an option to put them so close that you can harvest without moving, that's awesome. So you can have 1 less person hired for the work. Only 2 people then needed. The system with 2 people is 1 person continuously keep tossing grenades and do nothing else, like those fertilizer ones, and then you just keep collecting as fast as you can. So that's auto grenade launching system with collection, and that's the fastest. Next, hey Turtle, what legendary mods use on the Hellcat torso and Vulcat torso? Like legendary mods, you use the same on entire power armor normally. You don't go for different set of mods for a torso. You can see what power armors I'm using. Those mods work the best for most. Like my favorite is, for power armor, my favorite is Troubleshooters, Luck, Through Haika, and for the last star, 2 pieces of limit breaking, top up with Aegis. That's my favorite. Although not only one, you can mix something else. The 2 pieces of limit breaking are important. The other 3 pieces up to you, practically. And that's what I'm running, mostly. That's my favorite. Hey Turtle, thanks for easy solo of the EN06 Guardian for the human build using Gatling Plasma. I was successful with it following your instructions on the video. About 5 days ago, my damage shrank down to 4 to 500 per shot, and when Sneak triggered, it only reached 1100. Are you still able to hit over 1k per hit? I am. I have looked over everything if I made a mistake unknowingly for the last 5 days, but I can't figure it out. Also notice that I used to do 2x sneak at least 2 or 3 times with the plasma, but now I'm lucky to get 1 or 2. Like, servers are very laggy now, so that can affect the sneak attacks, but your overall damage shouldn't drop so low. So if you are really hitting for 400 to 500, I would double check your mutations. Maybe you acquired grounded mutation that will exactly nerf your damage by half. So check for that. If you didn't acquire grounded mutation, then it's hard to tell what could cut your damage by half. That's tricky without being able to see everything you have, like your build weapon and so on. But I would check mutations first. That's what I would be looking for the problem. Next, in regards to your quad ultraside video, what would be a good 4-star for the ultraside Gatling laser, pinpointers, or pyromaniacs with the beta wave capacitor? So the beta wave capacitor is not as efficient as I would like it to be. So I would not say that that's gonna be great. I don't use them. The fire damage is nice, but overall damage seems to be quite reduced if you put this one versus Prime. So I'm running Prime on my Gatling lasers. Therefore, pinpointers would be very good. If you don't want pinpointers, you can use polished if you can lock the durability. I was explaining in several times how to lock the durability. Hopefully you know about it. Like, fix it, use it, keep it at around 190, then put the durability mod on it to lock it. Currently, it's still locking on public test server. Durability mod is still locking durability in place, like basically reducing any breaker so much that it takes years to break a weapon a little bit. So it basically locks it in place. And those are all the questions in here. Oh, and about the video I'm saying about outfit, that's there. So if you need notifications about all my videos, they're always here under new video tab. Including my other channel where I played the mobile game Boom Beach currently. I don't know why it's suggesting me to laugh about it. It's fun game. It's a fun mobile game. I like it. It's old mobile game, but I do like it. I do like it. In my opinion, more relaxing than other mobile games, than other MOBA. Okay. Back to you in the chat. Let's see what the chat is saying. I already said what day I think the season is dropping. June 3rd. That's my best guess. Do I know about the bug that lets popcorn count as candy? Yeah, popcorn count as candy. Popcorn is kind of a candy sometimes. Like the typical cinema popcorn, the sweet one, that's like a candy. So I think it's intentionally counting as a candy. Because that looks like a cinema type popcorn, the sweet one, not just salt. Like in Europe, at least, I notice it's way more popular, and I like it to eat popcorn with just salt. But in cinemas and American style popcorn, it used to be sweet one, sometimes sweet and salty, which I don't like. I don't like sweet and salty. I either go for salty or sweet. I don't mix the two. I don't like the combo. What do you think about Ratstorm and Nuke Zone weather stations for fishing? That I cannot tell you much because it's impossible to test. On public test server, we have no access to weather stations, and it's all a mystery how they will affect fishing. Low health build with unyielding, blooded. Yeah, absolutely. If you low health build with unyielding, human and blooded build. You cannot really do that as ghoul. In theory, yeah, you can use unyielding as a ghoul, but that's so cumbersome. Every time you accidentally heal, you need to manually drop your health. Every time you level up, you need to manually drop your health. So if you want to use unyielding as a ghoul, that's not a good experience. Not a good experience at all. Salted caramel. Yeah, enjoy salted caramel. Salted caramel is not bad. It's the only combo when salt is justified combined with sweet. Salted caramel, I would say, yeah, I agree. But not just sweet and salty. It's better for Gatling Plasma calibrated or prime. So the situation here is with Gatling Plasma. If you always use VATS, calibrated will give you a little bit more damage. A little bit. It's not much. It's barely noticeable increase in damage. But if you use a Gatling Plasma in VATS and outside of VATS, or if you cannot crit every other shot, Prime is on top. As well, every time you are fighting Scourge Beast or regular Scourge or any type of Scourge enemy, Prime is on top as there is additional bonus versus Scourge enemies. Is it possible to buy magazine packs? No, those drop from raid, but you cannot purchase them. Only bubblehead packs are purchasable from Giuseppe. Movie popcorn is usually butter. Yeah, it is. There's butter, lots of sugar, and salt. And I prefer just butter and salt. You need a lazier ghoul build. So you'll need to customize my lazy ghoul build to be even more lazy. Chicken and waffles. Never try that. I don't plan to. Oh, Ramon, thank you a lot for extending your Prime sub. Appreciate that. And Ramon is saying, thank you for everything you do for the game and community. Appreciate that, Ramon. And Stargazer, thank you for cheering. Is Peppa Shaker getting a buff on next update? Yes, mainly from the new perks. I don't remember if there was a direct buff. About the new update, okay, we have a little bit of time, so I can open the patch notes. And in case you missed that in the past, we do have like complete patch notes now. Everything is in there, so let me open the patch notes. So you'll see everything at once. So those are the patch notes for fishing in Appalachia. They go from the latest to the oldest. So the last buff was for Galper's marker, like they forget about it previously, and now they improve it. Like all melee weapons have been improved. And a lot of fixes, balancing. So the latest were for the plasma, like Enclave Plasma, regular Plasma, Gatling Plasmas, those stuff slightly fixed. So conductors, I was testing a lot, and conductors with this setup works quite well. So I cannot complain anymore. It's not as powerful as today, but definitely more use cases. Combination of instant AP and healing with 100 over time makes it usable for slow and fast firing weapons. So they did found a good balance here, and I'm happy about it, as I was worried that it will be just nerfed, as initially there was no this instant. The instant part was added recently. Initially, they just took everything away and gave you 100 over time. So it was completely nerfed initially, but then there was enough outrage, and they've reverted to more balanced approach. So that was previously, you see, that was the nerf that killed, but that's previously, that's already undone. So we are going back in time over the nodes. So here, I don't know if that's already live, as this patch for 18, so April 18th, this patch, I think some of those changes already went to the live. Like, this was very weird. The last live game version update carry over some of the limb damage changes from the public test server, but not all of them. So that was very surprising for me. I was not expecting that. So live game version had kind of some of the changes from public to server, but only some. Selected one related to limb damage, not the damage buffs yet. So auto axe, that's a fix to previously nerfed auto axe that was like half year ago, I think, that they reduced the damage of auto axe, but then they unreduce it by accident. So they are reducing it back to how they wanted to reduce it. It's still good. Like I was using auto axe on public test server, and it's still killing everything in no time. It's still very powerful. All regular, like classic melee, as you may notice, did receive a significant buff, and that's deserved, as classic melee were underperforming for quite a while. So they will be underperforming way less compared to auto axe with all those adjustments. And some of them, like Grognak axe, that's quite decent when base damage exceeds 100. And in case of melee, you can easily boost the damage by like 1000%, strength count, food counts. There's a lot of stuff that boosts melee damage. So when you see 100 as a base, you can expect 1k per swing without even power attack. So it can hit hard, like add 0 to all those damage. So that's what realistically melee builds can be running with those weapons. And those are base, so some weapons have modifications like Plasma Caster and Cutter. Plasma Cutter, for example, you can upgrade the blade to do even more damage than the base. They still didn't fix, though, all the damage incorrectly displayed in Pip-Boy, which is a little bit confusing. I better off going by this list than checking my weapons in Pip-Boy on all the workbenches, as not all display accurate damage values, which is not welcome. Look at the Super Sledge, 107 too. Super Sledge will be fun, and Warglaive, yeah, Warglaive will be hitting good. Almost the same, but Warglaive, unlike Grognak Axe and Super Sledge, can increase this damage with those special modifications by quite a bit. So fixes, like when we are looking at those patches, those are patches on top of patch, on top of patch, on top of patch, because that's how public test server works now. Every week something is being patched, and when they are saying something, like for example, fix an issue where the automatic receivers for the assault rifle and ultrasight laser gun didn't include the fire rate decrease seen in their semi-auto variants. When they say something like that, they do not refer to the live game version. They refer to the patch from week earlier on the public test server. It's very important to understand those patch notes as we're going back in time. They're referring to previous version of public test server, not live game version. So it can be confusing sometimes as people read it and try to compare it to what they have to their assault rifle or ultrasight laser gun. It's not like that. It's comparing and reflecting changes week to week versus previous week. So this change is versus previous week when it wasn't working as intended after already reworking those weapons. So those are balancing, the big balancing to the Gatling Plasma, Enclave Plasma, all the plasma guns receive quite a big balancing. The Gatling Plasma is still very powerful, can still absolutely destroy the Guardian and everything else as Gatling Plasma indirectly, but receive a boost from the new perks. Therefore, Gatling Plasma is still very powerful and on top for the heavy guns. The splitters and stuff like that works a little bit differently now, but I still don't find much of a use case for other mods for Gatling Plasma than just accelerated barrel and regular firing of projectiles. Those splitters can benefit from some of the mods, but I was not able to spec it so good so the splitter would do significantly more damage than regular, what we are using now for the mods for Gatling Plasma. So there will be no real change for Gatling Plasma. You will use it the same way, to summarize everything that I just said for no reason. Enclave Plasma Gun, there was a lot of mod adjustment, but they did it well, I need to say. You can check the live stream when we were playing with the Enclave Plasma Gun. We did a lot of testing, and it works with a lot of combinations. So for the Enclave Plasma Gun, they did amazing work here. It works as a sniper, single shot. It works as automatic gun. It's working very well as a flamer. It works in multiple combinations and do really solid damage, pushing up commando build as one of the strongest. So Enclave Plasma, one of the strongest weapon, leading the way. Most likely, Enclave Plasma, when they release it live, if everything stays as it is now on public test server, Enclave Plasma gonna beat Gatling Plasma. We're gonna beat it. It's not like to the dirt, no, I'm not saying that, but it will be slightly above. Enclave Plasma will be able to push slightly above Gatling Plasma, which I think, taken into consideration how hard it is to get mods for Enclave Plasma, yes, it is even harder than for Gatling Plasma, which is already hard. Therefore, it justified, in my opinion, that it's gonna be pushed on top of the food chain. A lot of adjustment, but as well referring to previous and so on. You will need to see entire testing of Enclave Plasma to have a good grip what it's gonna all do. So you can see the values, even those values. Like you would think they're giving a nerf to the gun. They are not. They're referring to the buff from week ago. So if you compare those new values to the live game version, that's a buff. So that's what we need to remember. That's a nerf. Gatling Plasma is the only gun that is receiving a nerf, a tiny nerf from 35 base to 31 base. So not significant, as I said. It will, realistically, it will perform the same as new perks will give it extra power that it's losing from this damage adjustment. So you will feel the same about Gatling Plasma. The Enclave Plasma will feel significantly stronger. And the plasma gun will be usable, but it will not be on top of the food chain because the difference is quite significant. It's 39 versus 57. So Enclave Plasma, huge advantage over very accessible regular plasma gun, which I call a mini Gatling Plasma. So mini Gatling Plasma is still a thing if they don't patch it away. So mini Gatling Plasma will be a thing, and it will be close competition to the Gatling Plasma. Not exactly the same, but close. Like the damage is higher, but if you spec it to be a mini Gatling Plasma, you do have a damage penalty. So mini Gatling Plasma will do less damage than the big Gatling Plasma. Remove unintended additional damage from Western Revolver. That already on live, I think. They already did it on live too. That's why I said some of those modifications made it to the live early. A lot of fishing, but if you were not doing any fishing, you don't know what fishing changes are for. So let's focus on other changes. So the very cool one, and I'm using that, is Nocturnal for armor. This is cool. So that's cool stealth armor, Nocturnal, for ghouls, for example, and for everyone who wants to play full health and don't want to go unyielding. Because as soon as you are cloaked, you are getting the most important for commando skills, which is agility and perception. This is being boosted by 4 on each piece. Not as powerful as unyielding. As unyielding is boosting 6 out of 7 of your stats by +3. This is boosting 2 out of 7 by +4. So not as powerful as unyielding, but definitely a worth choice. Plus, Nocturnal can be installed on power armor, and unyielding cannot. So if you want to boost your special on power armor, you can with this new Nocturnal. The change that I do not like, and I don't see the point, I think it's already on live too, that ghouls can no longer pick perks when leveling up that are human perks and other way around too, which is weird, as I was hoping it's intended. Like, I know they locked, but why cannot I pick up, let's say, all the ghoul-related perks before I turn into ghoul, so I have them already? Why I cannot pick them up early? That doesn't make sense. The Netrage and the entire Blooded build is kind of reworked, as now Netrage goes up to 80% damage at 5% health, and it's not linear, so lower your health is, the faster damage goes up. So it goes 5% health, it maxes out 80% damage boost. So definitely Netrage is buffed. There's a lot of like small changes and stuff like balancing. That was huge balance patch. Huge balance patch for everything. You will see more. Harpoon gun is receiving some love, which is welcome. It's still, I'm gonna be honest, the harpoon gun will still not be the killer number one of anything. It will be completely off meta for fun weapon. For fun weapon, but more powerful. So the AP cost is going down for a lot of weapons because of that. Like prime receiver and standard receiver, which light machine gun you cannot modify, but they have those two mods, either standard or prime. Other stuff you cannot switch, but it's there. So light machine gun is affected by those receivers, even if you don't change anything. So the AP cost basically going down for Tesla and light machine gun and a lot of other stuff. Out of range damage multiplier reworked. So there is no longer, like, basically they remove all the weapons that were suffering 90% damage penalty when shooting out of range. All weapons when shooting out of range just have a standard 50% damage penalty. That's in the game, and you probably experience that. When enemy is too far, your damage goes down. They basically change it for everything, which is a huge buff for all shotguns, as all shotguns were given initially in the past 90% damage penalty for shooting far. Now it's taken away, so you can kind of use shotguns as a sniper. It will be standard 50% damage penalty. So you can spec combat shotgun with a scope and go as a sniper. You can do it now. It's not the best sniper, but you can do it now. You can shoot out of range and it will do damage, including the Peppa Shaker. So Peppa Shaker is this way, like it's not directly buffing the damage for the Peppa Shaker, but removing this range penalty. And let's be honest, all shotguns have such a short range, they couldn't be really used in the past just because of that. Now with penalty being normalized, you can absolutely rock shotguns. So that's like awesome news for shotguns. That's the biggest change for shotguns, like the damage penalty being lowered. AP cost going down on multiple weapons, which is not necessarily good, as there is a new perk that increases your damage based on AP cost. So for example, for handmade rifle, the reduction in AP cost is not something I would welcome if I want to use it as a sniper, but it's good if you want to use it automating without number cruncher and just drop your AP cost as low as possible. And that's the big damage boost to compensate for perk changes for basically all rifles. So you can see like all rifles receiving this damage boost when assault rifle for whatever reason is pushing on the first spot with a little bit less fire rate. Like they reduced the assault rifle fire rate, including automatic receivers. So the highest damage but less fire rate. So it's kind of balanced, I would say. They all have as well new penalties. You will see it below. New penalties for automatic mods, which normalize its damage and push a semi-automatic way higher on the food chain. So for a lot of people, if you can use semi-automatic, it will be more beneficial than full auto, with exception of weapons that are only full auto and there is no semi option. So combat shotguns, so regular shotguns did receive huge buff outside of the fact that they have this damage drop of change. I don't think, or was there? Peppa Shaker was here too. Okay, I forgot about it. So Peppa Shaker definitely were more powerful with all those changes, but were the changes that I like, Black Powder Rifle and the Dragon. Those are amazing. Those are amazing. The Dragon is such a fun weapon with those changes. The Dragon is for projectiles, so that's why I made a video about it, to showcase the extent of those changes and how fun those are. Yeah, and they remove the AP cost reduction from automatic receivers, but they basically cut down the AP cost to begin with on half. So now if you use semi or full auto, it doesn't affect your AP cost. That's another reason to go for semi. There is some additional adjustment like increasing the damage multipliers for criticals and sneak attacks, but realistically those only apply for semi-automatics or single shots, as there is penalty for automatics that undo that. And the biggest one is lever action rifle. So lever action rifle, the snipers, they probably want to push more into sniping position and giving him a little bit more critical damage bonuses. Another sniper, they all have a bigger critical damage bonuses by default. Like that's the default before you apply perks from 2.0 to 3.0 damage bonus. The same about sneak attack. So fixer is typical for sneak. So the fixer is not such a great damage, so they decided to compensate it by giving it bigger sneak damage multiplier. But only if semi-automatic really will achieve that. Full auto will have additional penalties, so it's not there. Lever action against sneak and crit 3-0. Like they want those snipers to have bigger multipliers. Snipers definitely performs really well. I tried the Gauss rifle, it's killing everything even without VATS. From sneak attacks, it's such a good damage. Like Gauss rifle is absolute beast. And that's what automatic receivers will do. So reduction in critical attack damage, so it's the buff is gone. Reduction in sneak attack damage, so the previous buff is gone, so that's now. And they increasing the damage penalty for automatics. It's not still reflected on the public test server in the Pip-Boy, but it's there. It's being reduced. So automatics versus semi-automatics. Now, if they go with all those changes, it seems like semi-automatics will have the same, if not slightly higher DPS than automatics, especially if you put hair trigger receivers on semi-automatics. So you'll get quite high fire rate without the penalties, pushing your DPS up, especially that all those weapons have like 20 mag capacity, so automatics spits it out in 3 seconds, when semi-automatics can keep firing for like 5-6 seconds before the reload is required, and dishing out higher damage per bullet. So that like normalizes it, and semi-automatics may go on top with the damage. And this is the list of weapons affected. So the weapons that do have the penalty with automatic. So Alien Disintegrator, Handmade Assault Combat, Fixer, Radium, Tesla, Gamma Gun, 10mm, Pipe Gun, Railway, Laser Gun, Ultra Laser Gun, Plasma Gun, Enclave Plasma Gun. Those have penalties to automatic mods. The weapons that are only automatics, like 10mm SMG or Tommy Gun, do not receive this penalty. So that's why I'm saying Elder's Mark gonna be number 1, as Elder's Mark do not receive any of those penalties, is only always automatic. Shotgun automatic receivers have penalties too, but smaller. And higher fire rate increase. Like the automatic receivers for shotguns, they keep saying like it's a lot of them. They basically refer to combat shotgun. So this change basically applies to combat shotgun. It says like shotguns, like there's more of them. But oh no, it says combat. Okay, it says combat shotgun now. So it does. I didn't notice. It does say combat shotgun now. So it's only one that can be automatic. A lot of legendary effects have been modded, some back and forth. So pinpointers, for example, that's now 20% weak spot damage. This appendages stuff was always weird, and no one really understand what that's supposed to be. So they took it away and just changed it into weak spot damage. After initial plan, which was basically destroy it, they had some mercy and put it into 20% weak spot damage on pinpointers. Bullies is big. You were able to see me using bullies on the dragon. Hitman's, I'm not happy, but they reverted changes. So Hitman's is the same as on live. All the perks, I have a video about it, so let's keep scrolling. So that's the initial patch notes. We finally arrived at initial patch notes. So as you can see, those limb damage listed here, that's mostly already on live, with exception of the fact that Enforcer on public test server is for small guns, but on live is shotguns, like initial patch notes on PTS, but later it was changed to small guns. So I don't know what's really happening and what's intended. Is Enforcer gonna stay for shotguns, or is it gonna be small guns? Or will they eventually redo Enforcer that maybe like other perk? They could do that weapons that fire 3 or more projectiles have extra limb damage. That would make sense for Enforcer. but they did small guns. So mostly the limb damage stuff is already there. What else? Limb damage stuff is already there. Limb damage is on live, so we don't need to stop here. And they did remove immunity to being crippled from most of the enemies. So you can cripple all the enemies. You see Imposter, Ship Squatch can be crippled. Ship Squatch, Imposterling, Blue Devil, Ogwa, Jersey Devil, Leicester Devil. All those enemies can be crippled, including daily ops. Like daily ops were exclusive enemies that you never could cripple previously. Now you can. So even enemies from daily ops. Perk balancing. Refer to the latest videos. They were changed couple times. No, Nocturnal, as I said, is fun. And that was later updated. It's now 50% damage while cloaked. And the effect, yeah, that's all outdated. So that was changed to the one that I was showing you, the new one. The Blooded is going to 130%. That's important. Junkies I like. It's finally 100%. You do need 10 mutations for that. Resilient is cool. That's when reloading weapons 500 all resistances, including elemental. Doesn't always seems to perfectly work, but usually works. 2-shot huge buff. So huge buff for 2 shots. Stalkers is now for sneaking. 100% damage when you are sneaking. Mutants is 50, so the universal boost, you can get 50%. You need 10 mutations for that. Gormans goes up. The bonus to VATS optimized, so AP cost reduction is now 35, so that was boosted. Hitmans, they scrap that, so it stays as it was. Instigating, that's a nerf, and they stick to it, so instigating is gone. Juggernauts is an interesting boost. Can go to 100%, but only if your total health can achieve 1000%. 1000 HP, not percent. They change adrenal reactions, so blooded builds will now need to rely on blooded prefix and Nerd Rage mutation. So there is no more adrenal reaction boosting your damage when your health drops. It's the same amount of damage of boost, but now on the kill streak. So to get old 62% damage boost, this adrenal reaction was maxing out at 62.5%. Exactly this number by 10, multiplied by 10. That was max adrenal reaction when your health was 20% or lower. Now it's the bonus when you do 10 kills. And it stays for 30 seconds. If you continue killing, you refresh the counter. If you stop, you reset the counter. So that's different, like the same as the perk now. It works the same way as the perk. For junkies, I meant 10 addictions. Yes, did I say mutations? Addictions for junkies. Oh, and we have new member to Turtle's army, Michael Novko. Thank you very much. And Spiteful Angel with $10. And thank you, Foxy. Appreciate that, Spiteful Angel. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Yeah, they move crafting of fusion cores to different bench, but no one will craft them. The cost is way too great to craft that. The setting to change quick heal priority is cool, so you can choose to use your best stimpaks first and not always the weakest. And they improve looting. I think that's already on live. And that's we achieved the bottom of the patch notes. You don't understand any of this? So you'll need to catch up on my videos from public to server. Like practical showcase, I think are way better. That's why I'm doing so much practical showcase of the weapons with the changers, how they perform on actual enemies, so everyone has some idea. Oh, and we have as well Angry Scotsman extending the subscription on Twitch. Appreciate that. Thank you, Angry Scotsman, and to Pingletron extending his sub for 2 years now. Thank you very much, Pingletron. Where can you find those public test server notes? Follow.com. Everything, if you are looking for official articles from Bethesda, just type followed.com. And on the first page, you look for articles, and there are all those notes or the Atomic Shop announcements and other stuff. Follow.com is your friend for that if you don't use Discord. They do post it all on Discord too with links. But if you don't use Discord, follow.com. Ultrasight Gatling Laser is still good on public test server, yes. Handmade rifle will be still good. But what I'm saying about those classic rifles, handmade, fixer, so on, they will be more beneficent to use a semi-automatic version. They changing a little bit what works better. Semi-automatics will be the thing. Yeah, Volt 63 carbine rifle is really good with high AP cost, boosting with number cruncher. And that will be everything then for this Turtlecast. I hope you enjoy. Turtle Army members will be back in a second to do our daily challenges. That's what we are doing today. Everyone else tomorrow will be again on public test server, as that's our last weekend to do testing. So if you have any questions in regards how the game will work with the next patch in about 2 weeks, then tune in tomorrow. We'll be doing a little bit more testing and answering your questions and testing stuff if you have any questions in there. And that being said, see you there, everyone. Turtle out. Bye.